Hello, everyone. It's Seth, probably better known as Saffron Olive, and it's time for another Instant Deck Tech. So, as you know, Thursday means it's Fishbowl Thursday here in Instant Deck Tech land, and we have a super cool modern port of a standard list to look at today. This is New Perspectives combo, but not for standard. This is New Perspectives for modern, which is super cool. Comes to us from M14, so thank you so much, M14, for sending in a really cool deck. If you want your deck considered for Fishbowl Thursday deck techs, make sure to leave it in the comments of this video. You can also email them to me, saffronolive@mtggoldfish.com. Big thanks to everyone who sent in your decks. You all are amazing. We've been getting so many submissions. It is super cool. Anyway, a quick reminder before we break down Modern New Perspectives combo. If you enjoy this deck and you enjoy the Instant Deck Tech series, make sure to hit that subscribe button. It is a great way to support the channel and the site for free. So let's talk Modern New Perspectives and, of course, the namesake card, New Perspectives. You probably remember this one. We've played it on Against the Odds. It was kind of a thing in Standard for a minute. 6 mana enchantment. When it enters the battlefield, you draw 3 cards. As long as you have 7 or more cards in your hand, you can pay 0 rather than paying cycling costs. So you get to cycle for free, which is a very powerful effect once you can get it going. 6 mana is obviously a lot for Modern. Good news is, we got a lot of ramp to get there, including a lot of ramp that cycles. So you probably know Sheffitt Monitor from the standard deck. 4 mana cycling, put a land onto the battlefield, also get to draw a card from the cycling, which is super sweet. If we can get up to 4 mana and cycle a Sheffitt Monitor, it's going to get us up to the 6 mana we need to cast our New Perspectives. We also have some early game ramp with Edge of Autumn, which is a super sweet addition to this deck. So it's a rampant growth if we have 4 or less lands. However, if we have more than 4 lands, we can sacrifice a land to cycle it away. Of course, we don't have to sacrifice a land once we get New Perspectives out. It cycles for free, so we don't have to pay the cost. Beneath the Sands, basically a 3 mana rampant growth that cycles, and then Search for Tomorrows to come down on turn 1. So in theory, with this deck, if we can suspend a search on turn 1, we can cycle a Sheffitt Monitor on turn 3 and play New Perspectives on turn 4, and in theory, just win the game by casting our turn 4 New Perspectives. The way we actually win the game with New Perspectives is super sweet. So instead of looping through our graveyard, which is a little bit risky in Modern with Rest in Pieces and Leyline of the Void and all that stuff, we can't really go on the Shadow of a Doubt plan. We are going to use some of the super cycling cards from the original Alara block. So Resounding Thunder, for example, is our biggest finisher. 3 mana, 3 damage to a creature or player. It cycles for 8 mana, a massive 8 mana. Of course, that's not really relevant to our deck, because once we have New Perspectives, we cycle it for free. When we cycle it, we get to deal 6 damage to a creature or player. So it's basically 6 uncounterable damage for 0 mana when we cycle it with our New Perspectives. So that's our primary plan for winning the game. We're cycling after we get our New Perspectives out. We're going to hit our Resounding Thunder, cycle it, 6 our opponent. Also, we're drawing another card, hopefully finding more Resounding Thunders. Resounding Wave doesn't win us the game directly, but it bounces 2 permanents, and it doesn't say non-land permanent, so it can bounce lands as well. So in theory, we just bounce all of our opponent's stuff back to their hand, which buys us about an infinite amount of time to actually win the game. So that's our big plan for winning. As we cycle through our entire deck, we're going to hit all of our Resounding Thunders and just kill our opponent. If we can't kill our opponent with finding all of our Resounding Thunders naturally, we have 2 copies of Days Undoing, which is awesome in this deck. So Days Undoing, 3 mana, each player shuffles graveyard and hand into their library, draws 7. 7, of course, is exactly the number of cards we need to turn on the free cycling of New Perspectives. The super sweet thing about this is we break the downside of Days Undoing, which makes us end our turn. So we cast Days Undoing, we gotta end our turn, but with our free cycling, we don't really care, because we can just go on our opponent's upkeep. We have 7 cards in hand, start cycling our Resounding Thunder, cycling through our hand, hopefully kill our opponent the turn after we cast Days Undoing, before our opponent even gets to do anything, because we can do all that at instant speed thanks to our New Perspective. So Days Undoing, super sweet because of how we can break the downside of it. Plus, it gives us a way to shuffle back in all our Resounding Thunders, all of our big cycling cards to keep cycling through our deck. We don't worry about milling out and running out of cards. Otherwise, we get a bit of card draw. Illumination can draw us to, or we just cycle it for free, Worldly Console to dig through our deck and find our new perspectives, our other combo pieces. We also have Vizier Tumbling Sands. Unlike the standard deck, we're not really looking to combo off with it, although it allows us to cycle, go through our deck, keep untapping our lands, and we're able to use the mana from cycling our Viziers to cast our Days Undoing, which will shuffle back in all of our Viziers, and again, like we were talking about, let us combo off on our opponent's upkeep before they really get to do anything with the cards that they draw. Mana base wise, few more cycling lands, not a ton, but a few. Also, kind of typical stuff, some fetch lands, a shock land, and a bunch of basic lands to take advantage of all those basic land tutors we have. Got to make sure we got enough basics for our Edge of Autumns, for our Search for Tomorrow, etc., etc. Sideboard wise, we get a couple of sweet backup plans. So if we think our opponent's going to have an answer to our new perspectives, we can bring in the Locust God. We don't really have any creatures that we're casting in the main deck, so opponent probably takes out the removal. Then, as we do all of our free cycling, we're just getting a whole bunch of hasty insects. If we encycle 20 cards, we actually get to just kill our opponent with 1/1 flyers with haste. Abandoned Sarcophagus lets us get all of our cyclers back from the graveyard to actually cast them, so we cast our ramp again, our card draw again. We could even cast our Resounding Thunders and Resounding Waves if we wanted to. So pretty cool idea there as well. Elixir of Immortality, make sure we don't actually run out of cards and mill ourselves out, as does another copy of Days Undoing. Obstinate Baloth to help against aggro, just gaining life, also good against Liliana's. Sweltering Suns as a sweeper that we can also cycle, and One Mountain, if we're bringing Locust Gods, going a bit more expensive, we gotta make sure we have enough lands in our deck to actually cast it, and that is Modern New Perspective, sent in by M14. So thanks again, M14, deck looks super sweet. Anyway, thank you everyone for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, help us out by clicking that like button down below. And to keep up on all the latest and greatest, click that subscribe button. And don't forget to hit that bell icon to get alerts whenever we have new videos. And if you want to, check out some of our other sweet videos here and here.